everyone. My name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss. And what's up with all this Arteza drama going on? So we're here to talk about Arteza color pencils. I have my entire collection, including some brand new Arteza expert color pencils. We're going to do some testing to see what's going on with all this Arteza color pencil stuff and talk about our take on Arteza and this type of company and kind of give you our feelings and impressions about all this. All right, before we get started, I do have some fun coloring pages for you. It's Valentine's Day in a few days, so we need to celebrate. So I have a couple free ones and a couple brand new ones that I just finished drawing. So let's show you real quick the new ones that I finished drawing. Oh, I'm so excited. This is one of my chippies that I drew at the end of 2020, and I have recreated it for you into a Valentine's Day coloring page. It says, plant love today, harvest love tomorrow. And she's sitting here and she's watering her beautiful little heart garden. I adore her. She's so really cute. And instead of giving her solid black eyes, because what's the fun in coloring a solid black eye? Nothing. So instead I gave her these adorable little like anime type eyes so you can color them in with lots of fun details. So excited. Now this one and the next one I'm going to show you are both part of the premium library. So if you want access to these coloring pages plus hundreds more including worksheets and all kinds of great things, just come on over to Coloring Bliss, follow the link in the video description, and it's just $5 a month to access that. You can cancel it anytime you want, and oh boy, there is a lot there, including tons of Valentine's coloring pages, St. Patrick's. I mean, there's everything there, so it's really cool. Okay, the next one that I just finished drawing for all of you, I was just in the mood to draw some really fun, pretty flowers. So I put them all inside of a heart and I wrote, I love you today, tomorrow, and forever. So it's just kind of a little more simple.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I really like it. And personally, I'm really excited to color all of the flowers inside of it. So
we get requests for, simple coloring pages quite a bit. So.
Oh, good. And I need to draw more simple mandalas, I've decided, because we were recently over at my dad's house and he has been coloring my simple mandala coloring book. He has Alzheimer's, and I was just like, my heart just melted to see what he had been coloring. My dad is not a colorist or an artist, but he has been coloring so much in there, and it just, it meant so much to me to see that he is like really into this.
And those real simple open designs were perfect for him.
It was so good, and he had thoughtfully colored all the sections in those mandalas. So yeah, you might be seeing another simplified mandala coloring book soon dedicated to my father. Okay, on that note, wow, I didn't expect to get all emotional about that, so... All right. Okay. Wow. All right. So this is a free one for everyone. There is a link in the video description to come and get this one. This one is actually a countdown to Valentine's Day, and we're a little behind on this. I apologize. But it's also a really fun one to color and use as a little Valentine. You can cut them out and give them and put like an I love you on the back. Ooh, it would be fun to color them and then hide them around the house for your kids so they find them. Wouldn't that be cute with a little treat on them? Anyway, there's like little cute fun things, all Valentine's oriented on here, and it is a countdown to Valentine's Day. So come and download this and just have fun. I like doing little ones like this because you can sit down and color just one little square in just one sitting, and it's not like a 4 or 5 hour event. So it's perfect for just a quick coloring. And then this is another one. We have never made this one free, and we're doing it free this year, so come and get it for a limited time. It's a gnome and he's sitting underneath his heart tree collecting his hearts up. I wonder who he's going to give them to, you guys. Again, he's free for a limited time. Come and get him and enjoy coloring something for Valentine's Day. Okay, now we're going to get into talking about Arteza. I've made some notes and I've got Steve here with me. He's my business partner and husband, and he has been my business partner since the beginning of Coloring Bliss, so he can help talk about Arteza because we have had some experience working with Arteza in the past. And before we get started, the very first thing we want to make you aware of is that we purchased every single Arteza product you see here on my desk. We're not sponsored by Arteza, so you can be aware of that. That's really important to me and Steve. In the beginning of Coloring Bliss, we reached out to a lot of companies to kind of help us get the ball rolling with Coloring Bliss. And some companies did respond and send us some products to help us start our business and get this whole thing going. But we quickly realized that when you receive products from companies, you can try your hardest to be as objective as possible, but it can be difficult. And I think I did a really good job. I don't want you to go back in the past and look at the reviews and be like, oh, Jennifer's lying there. I never did that. I was always very honest about everything I reviewed.
In fact, we lost a relationship with the company because of it.
Several times that happened where companies wouldn't really talk to us anymore because of things I said in reviews.
Even though we tell them
I was always upfront that I would be 100% honest. But once we had those experiences, we realized that from moving forward, as often as possible, we're going to buy the products so that we don't have any obligations to those companies. We can say and do what we want, but we're always kind. We try to be kind and find positives and negatives about all products because we don't think people are out there evil trying to make bad products. We hope that's the case at least. So we just wanted you to know that's our business model, is to try to stay separate from companies so that we can be as objective for you as possible. Now, if we ever do accept products from companies, we're very selective about that, and we will always and forever disclaim that to you so that you are aware of that going on, so you can be trusted, so that we can be trusted when you watch our videos. Okay, so we have disclaimed all of that, and let's get into this stack of stuff right here. The first thing we want to talk about is our mixed feelings about Arteza and companies like Arteza. It's not just Arteza. And that's why when we saw this happening to Arteza, Steve and I both had mixed feelings. We felt bad for Arteza, that everybody's attacking them right now, and we don't like that. That's kind of like the current culture, to everybody pile on and attack a certain company. And I don't know if that's fair in this kind of culture. So we want to kind of give you a word of warning about that, to be careful before you pile on and attack things like that, because we wouldn't ever want that to happen to us or to you. So just be careful of that. But we do know that there are some things going on that we don't appreciate in the world out there. So one of the things we don't like are the marketing games that happen. And Arteza does play some of those marketing games, but so does a lot of the companies out there. We've already alluded a little bit to the marketing games that Arteza does. For instance, the way they market their pencils, like these pencils right here, proclaim expert on them. Even Crazy Art will say professional on them. Crazy Art is not professional. Great pencils. So a lot of them will say professional or expert. So that's just marketing. They are not expert pencils. These are not expert pencils. So one thing that I'm really happy about is that a lot of us are much more educated on companies like this. Arteza, Ohuhu, Color It, Castle Art. There's a lot of them out there, and they're doing this white labeling or relabeling. And basically what it is it's companies like this, and they can go to a company, say in China, and they have factories where they produce pencils, and Arteza can now buy a set of pencils and slap their label on it and sell it to us. And it's not just pencils, remember, it's markers and gel pens and paints and everything, right? And the problem with this type of product is that Arteza themselves don't have control over that factory. They can pick different specs for this product right here, but they can't control the entire process. On the flip side, there are companies like Faber-Castell, Prismacolor, Caran d'Ache, Derwent, the big boys, right? And they have
companies.
Yeah, they have control from beginning to end of the entire process of especially their professional lines. That's the problem with companies like this. And why we are okay with it though, because these companies can bring us less expensive products that are okay. We don't expect really great artist grade products out of this. What we're looking for is like hobbyist grade, beautiful colors, inspirational things that we have fun coloring with and we're excited about at a lower price rate that most of us can afford. That's really exciting, and that's what's made the whole colorist industry just explode over the last few years, because we have access to this kind of stuff and there's a total market for this. That's amazing and important. I don't want this to go away. Don't take this away, but don't label it what it isn't. That's a marketing manipulation of you and me, and that makes me mad. So yeah, don't try to be Faber-Castell Arteza, because you are not. So let's say the marketers in a company like Color It, Arteza, Ohuhu, all of them, they go out and they look at and see how Prismacolor is marketing. How is Faber-Castell marketing? What words are you and I using? What's the hot topics? Creamy. Ooh, everybody likes a creamy pencil. So let's throw that word into the description of our pencils. And let's not just use it once. Let's use it 4 times in the description. And then they'll see another one. Oh, they like the word oil-based pencil. So let's throw that in there, and let's throw in vibrant colors. You guys have seen that, and blends well. Let's throw that phrase in there too. And so that's a search. I wrote it down. Search engine optimization, or SEO, hot topic terms. And so that's another marketing trick they use on us to get us. So when we're typing in, I want a creamy color pencil, then the search engine just pops and lights up and brings up all those to us. So that's another trick they use. Another trick they use is they send out PR packages. Companies like Arteza will send out free products to people like me. That's okay. And I'll tell you why that's okay here in just a minute. But there is a sleazy side to that too that's not okay. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. They also will go to people like me or other YouTube reviewers, and they will actually buy a review from them where they pay that reviewer to say certain things. They'll even write out a script for that reviewer. This happens less often, but it does happen. So that's happening out there as well. And then other companies will also have pushy marketing plans where they have affiliate programs, and they are really pushy about people like me pushing their particular sales platform. So for instance, Arteza has their own website. They really want all of us going to Arteza.com in order for you to purchase from Arteza.com. And they were really pushy to us for us to make sure we were pushing affiliate links to you so that you would go to Arteza.com. And Steve and I didn't feel good about that. And so we didn't do that because
it was more expensive.
Arteza.com, every time I checked, probably about 7 out of 10 times was more expensive than the prices on Amazon.com. And I always want you guys to be savvy shoppers and to price check. Sometimes it's cheaper on Arteza, sometimes it's cheaper on Amazon. And I don't want you to feel obligated either way. So yeah, that's why we were like, no, we don't want to be affiliate links with you with Arteza. We want them to just shop wherever. So now, why is it okay that they send out free products to come to YouTube reviewers? Because they have to get their products out in front of you guys. They have to get it out in front of me. I want to see reviews of these pencils by other reviewers as well. So that's fine. But what's not fine is if that reviewer doesn't disclose that this was sent to them for free. That's also illegal if they don't disclose it. You have to. Every time I show something to you guys, if it was gifted to me by that company, I have to disclose forever, according to the law right now, that it was gifted to me from that company. So that's another reason why Steve and I are like, this is just getting outrageously complicated. We're just going to buy all the products. And so, yeah, if this was gifted to me from Amazon, from Arteza, every time I pull it out, I would have to tell you, and I would be glad to do that because I would want you to know that. But not all reviewers feel that same way. Just beware, okay? All right, so the pros about all of this is that we want decent, exciting products. And this market here, this kind of mid-grade, decent product market at decent prices is exciting. We get to try really cool products, gouaches and watercolors, acrylics and mica powders and cool watercolor pencils and cool color pencils. We get to try all kinds of art supplies that maybe just a few years ago we not necessarily would have been able to have access to at a decent price. So we need to have our expectations at a good level. We're not necessarily getting expert or professional quality products. And I think if we have our expectations at the right place, then we won't be disappointed. So as long as they're not being dishonest to us and we have decent expectations and we pay a decent price, then I think everything's fair and good and we should all be happy and do our art and have a great time. If you want a good product that you can be like, this is going to be professional grade, then go to a professional grade product like Faber-Castell or Prismacolor or Derwent. Go to those and go to their artist grade lines. Then you know you're getting, like Steve said, they're like legacy companies. They have earned that right to be those big boys that we all like want, right? Because they've earned it. They've been there for years and they have gone through those processes of getting their Lightfast ratings and they have earned the customer ratings. They've done the work and that's why they're there.
You think about, just everything, pigments, wood, all of that, they have control over.
Yeah.
And that's why they're able to do their color systems a lot of times. And anyway, it's cool.
They've earned it. So that's why I don't mind paying a price for it. So the issue that has come up, I think kind of falls into this. It's kind of like a do we really care? So the issue that's come up with the Arteza pencils is that some of the standard colored pencils, like their wax-based pencils, when you put water on them with a brush, they are breaking up like a water-soluble pencil. I haven't tested any of mine yet. We're going to do that together and see if any of mine do that. And, I don't know. We're going to find out if mine are part of the drama or not. I don't know. But I'm going to ask you a question. Does it really matter? If some of mine break up a little bit with water, does it really matter? So my questions are, if you're a colorist and you do mixed media art, that means you're not just coloring with color pencils. Sometimes you add a little watercolor or maybe you add a gel pen. Both of those are water-based products. And if you're mixing that in with a color pencil and you're expecting that color pencil to stay put because it's wax-based and that's what a color pencil is supposed to do, you might have a problem if it's a pencil that is supposed to stay put and doesn't. So yeah, maybe it does matter in that situation. If you're a professional artist and you thought you were buying a professional grade product.
Well, that's what they call their new line, is the professional line.
Yeah, it's not, you guys. If that's what you thought you were getting, then yeah, maybe this does matter to you. If you spray your products with some sort of sealant and that sealant is very wet, I know there's some that are more wet than others, and then that wetness hitting your color pencils, it might matter. If you are just a standard crafty type colorist that just colors for fun, or maybe you just do standard coloring with just color pencils and then you put it away and you don't really care about whether it's going to last 100 years or not, I don't think it matters. If you color with your kids and you just want a box of 120 colors, I don't think it really matters. Now, I also wanted to mention that I also own Arteza's watercolor pencils, and we have done a video on these before, a couple actually. And these are decent. These are supposed to break up with water. You color with them, you hit them with a little water, the binders release, and the color, the pigments and everything come out, and these are decent. These are beautiful. In fact, when we did a review on these, I believe we determined that we kind of thought these were better. They're cheaper than their line of pencils, so you get a better per pencil cost. You can color with them like standard color pencils. They blend beautifully, they perform beautifully, and then you get the bonus of when you want to hit them with water, they'll do beautiful watercolory things. Yeah. So if you're looking for a even better priced point pencil that you get a 2-for-1, that's one I would send you towards. In fact, right now, this set of pencils right here is on sale on Amazon right now for $59.49, regularly $80. So that's a pretty good deal for 120 pencils. We are going to talk a little bit about price because I think Arteza pencils are overpriced for what they are. I would rather see you go buy a set of Prismacolor pencils. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, let's do the test. I'm going to get it set up here. Let's see if my pencils are part of the drama. Okay, we have 3 sets of pencils we're going to check that have been bought at various times. This one was bought way back in March 2018, and I think this is the set that is in question. So we need to pick a few colors from this set. We have this set right here that is from January 2020. And then this is the newest set. They're what they're calling the new formulation. And we know it is the new formulation because of the new art on the tin, and also it has the new number system, right, Steve?
Right.
So this is from January 2021 is when we purchased this set right here. So what I'm going to do on this paper here, which is mixed media paper, happens to be from Arteza, I am going to swatch some of each tin. We'll make 3 columns for you with some from each year. I'll label it by the year, and I'll just time lapse that really quick, and then we will hit it with water and see what happens. Okay, so while I'm coloring up these last few swatches, the reason why we have so many sets of Arteza is mainly because we get so many recommendations from all of you that they are awesome, and so we do a tritone color system here with Coloring Bliss, and we were considering putting them as part of that tritone system, so we brought in lots of pencils for that, and so we brought in the 72 to test them. And then we wanted the full set so we could make them part of the tritone sets. And then we found out that actually in 2019, they had renumbered all their pencils. So then we, after doing our tritone sets, we decided we needed to fix our numbering system to match the new numbering system. So now we have these pencils here because we also heard that there were other changes, so we bought this set in January 2021. So this is the new pencils. So I'm feeling as I go along to see if they feel any different from this set.
So even though you bought those in 2020, the middle column, they are the 2019 pre-2019 colors.
Right. So this comes up with one of the problems that I'm sure Arteza is running into. And that is that when you're a company like this, that you do white labeling and you ship through Amazon, I believe what Amazon requires is that you send a huge quantity of these pencils to their warehouses so that they can fulfill. So when you order through Amazon sits on a huge set of these, and then as you order them, Amazon can send them out and fulfill. So Amazon doesn't know, Arteza doesn't know, does Amazon still have 50 more sets of the old ones, the 2020 column, or you know what I mean? This is the problem. Arteza, if you're ordering through Amazon, I don't think Arteza has any control over which box that Amazon picker is going to pick for you to be sent to you. See what I mean? Again, that's the problem. So yeah, I was lucky, I think. When we ordered it, we were like, I hope it's the right one, and we got the right one. So we lucked out. Whatever warehouse ours came from, Arteza happened to have sent, and our little Amazon picker happened to have picked. These feel different, you guys. So what I've done with each square is I go vertically one layer with light to medium pressure, and then horizontally with a second layer. And I am saying these aren't layering as well as the old formula. So it's definitely something new is going on. So Steve tells me that the numbers have changed, but the name is the same. So all of them say Carmine Red, whether you have the 049 or the 209, it's still called Carmine Red. And you can see, let me hold it up for you, that the colors have slightly changed. I'll hold it really still and comment below, do you think the colors have changed? I can really see it in that red. Have they changed between these two? But the feel, a couple of these were scratchy. That green was really scratchy. That green is different.
Yeah. 2018 seemed just a little lighter, like not quite as much
Down
pigment
here?
or something.
Yeah. So I think overall we're better than we were in 2018. So that's good.
Yeah. So those 2020s are still, though, that's just weird. Who knows why those would even be different?
Yeah, is it a totally new factory? Is it that they paid for a new blend, new binders, new pigments? No idea.
Again, this is the whole,
This
like
is
you
the
said,
problem.
the white labeling, relabeling issue.
Does Arteza even know? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how all this works. So yeah, let's test it. Water time, you guys. So I have a glass of water, which Rose almost drank straight out of. She was so excited when she saw the water, so we brought her some water, and then she fell promptly right back to sleep. Yeah, I'm talking about you, you cutie back there. This is like an acrylic type brush, so kind of stiff bristles. It's not going to hold a lot of water, so I should be able to really agitate it, but I'm not going to be extra aggressive. I'm just going to go for it here. So let's start up at the reds, and we'll go across. So we'll start with 2018, which I think are the ones that everybody is feeling like is having issues. And I'm just going to go side to side. And yeah. So that was 3 passes. Okay, clean off my brush. And I'm dabbing it off to make sure it was clean. A little bit of water on my brush, and here we go again. This is the 2020s. Down, up, and down. That one was better.
But they're not 2020.
Right, the 20. I guess what I'm going to do is change this to say 2019, and I'll say we bought them here.
Yeah, and they're pre-2019. I would put that.
But they're pre-2019. There, that's more accurate. But I thought it was important for you to understand that even though I bought it in 2020, the actual case probably came... Anyway, you guys get it. I think I've said that enough. Okay, here we go again. Down. Uh-oh. Up. Oh, dear. That's not good.
Maybe put post-2019.
Yeah, post. Yeah, because who knows when this was post-2019.
And we know that because it's the new color system.
Okay. All right. So I don't think you need to sit here for real time, me doing this test. So I'm going to go down and do that same thing. Down, up, and down on each one. Try to be really consistent. Try to clean my brush off between each one. So I'll be as scientific as I possibly can, you guys. And then we'll come back and see how we feel about all the colors, okay? Okay, we have all the testing done now for the Arteza and the Prismacolor and the Polychromos so that we can see kind of what you can expect from both, like we're going to call this a hobbyist grade. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Versus artist grade. And then I also tested watercolor pencils. This is the actual Arteza watercolor pencils. And we know they're the Arteza watercolor versus their standard because it comes in a different body. They're hexagonal and they have the little watercolor brush. Can you see that on the body? And they come in a totally separate tin. So I didn't get them mixed up. Like that's not the watercolor pencils in that column right there. I think the lesson here is that all color pencils, to some extent, the binders in the pencils, there's probably a few binders in there that are somewhat water soluble.
Yeah.
Even in artist grade. So let's start here and look at the Prismacolor versus the Polychromos. Some of them, they all activated to some extent. So there's some sort of binder in there that's relaxing and letting a little bit of the pigment out when you hit it with the water. Some colors are letting more pigment out than others. Again, does this even matter to you? Okay. I think that you keep needing to ask yourself this. Does this even really matter to you as a colorist? Now, Arteza, definitely we have some that are releasing more pigment than others. So whatever binders there are in here, they're more water soluble than others. So we have 3 different tins that were purchased at 3 different times. So I don't know, were these coming from 3 different factories or were they made in 3 different batches, or were they 3 different orders that Arteza made, and so they had said, will you make these slightly different than how you did it previously? I don't know. That's part of the problem with companies like Arteza, is that we don't have any quality from year to year to year. We have no way of knowing what's happening with companies like this, where with companies like Prismacolor or Polychromos that have been around, some of them for decades, we have at least a little bit more quality assurance that things are consistent from year to year. I think based on these swatches that I'm looking at right here, and we've got a wax-based really high quality pencil and an oil-based high quality pencil here, my conclusion would be that the majority of pencils are going to move a little bit when we hit them with water. That's my conclusion. Without doing tests on every single pencil, we wouldn't know that for sure. But my advice would be, let's not overreact when we look at what's happening to Arteza here. I think in general, our advice should be, we need to be savvy shoppers. We need to have our expectations in the right place when we purchase products that are, mid-range to cheap, that we're probably going to get that, a mid-range product to a cheap product. And we shouldn't expect high-end artist grade quality out of mid-range cheap brands.
And not to judge that brand based exclusively on whether or not it moves with water.
Yeah, that's just one property, one aspect that's happening here, and we need to be careful. I just don't like seeing too many people attacking because of one issue. And yeah.
And it's an issue that probably, our guess would be that it exists in almost every colored pencil brand, so it's somewhat unfair to.
Yeah, this I agree that this is a little extreme. That's unacceptable. Especially if you were doing mixed media art and you wanted that pencil to stay put, that would be unacceptable. And I would say that's a little unacceptable too. But looking at these other swatches, it's very interesting. So again, does this really matter? Okay, if you own the 2018 pencils and you love them and you color with them and think they're the bomb, have I ever said that phrase before?
I don't think so.
But if you do and you love them and now you've seen this and you're like, oh, should I hate them now? don't. They're wonderful, okay? But if you are in the market to purchase some pencils and you're a little concerned about this because maybe you do mixed media, or maybe you plan to do mixed media, or you're just concerned, then maybe this will or should give you pause. When you guys look at the prices, these pencils, those 2021s right there, are coming in today on Amazon at 58 cents per pencil. I can get the full set of Prismacolor pencils at 61 cents per pencil. That's pretty shocking, you guys. So almost the same cost per pencil. That's who they're competing with, is Prismacolor. So I would tell you every time, save up for just a little longer and go buy that full set of Prismacolors instead. Okay, after doing the testing, I decided to just quickly swatch the pencils and do a little testing coloring to see how these new Arteza Experts that I purchased January 2021, how they perform, because as I was doing those tests, I was really perplexed. So yeah, these are strange. Some of them are really scratchy, you guys, and not laying down correctly. For instance, this number 15 charcoal gray went down really scratchy and hard, but then I went and did the noir, the black color, and it was creamy and lovely. So they're very inconsistent. Here's all the swatches in case you're curious what colors come in the 72 set. Some of them are really close in color, as you can see. I mean, it's odd, you guys. And then I decided to try coloring the free coloring page just to see how they blend and layer. And it's terrible, you guys. This is a 3-color blend, and it's frustrating. It's not layering. It's not blending. This was a 3-color blend. I can't get the dark color. The light color just disappeared. Yeah.
Colored pencil paper too. Huh?
I'm on the really good color pencil paper. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I'm not a beginner here, and this is really frustrating. So definitely save your money. Don't invest here. I would highly recommend just save your money if you're in this price range. Like I said before, go for the Prismacolors. It's just a little bit more money, and you can have the full set of Prismacolors. So I would love you to test your own pencils and comment in the comments of this video. Let's find out which brands do you own that have a little more solubility. Is there a color that is a little more soluble? It would be really interesting to know. So again, I think it all boils down to, does any of this really matter to you? And be a savvy shopper. Check out YouTubers and other reviewers that you really trust. Listen to what they're saying. Watch what products they actually use when they sit down to do art. That's a good indicator of which products they actually love. And do your research. And when you buy inexpensive, cheaper products, expect for them to be inexpensive and cheap. And don't have like really, really high expectations. If you get a winner and it's like amazing, then yay, you did great. But yeah, I think expectations should be where, realistic expectations. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that you learned a lot about color pencils. I know I did. This was a lot of fun art science. I love doing art science. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to come and get the free Valentine's coloring pages. They'll be free for a limited time, so don't miss out on those links. And I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone.